Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have the SP1C Experience. Yes, it's a fun experience, the SP1C. It really is. It's a tank that I used to really enjoy, and then it kind of just got nerfed, and then it was a tank that just got bullied. It really was a tank that got bullied down to the ground. Everybody bullies this tank. As soon as they see it, load up the HE because it has no armor whatsoever. But not just with HE. HE is not the only problem for this tank. Because it's such a small tank and it doesn't weigh a lot, people will ram you. Now, a Dracula, if you see a Dracula coming at you at 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, you need to try and get the hell out of there, because a Dracula will be able to do a lot of damage given if you let the tank ram you, because that is what most people do. If you see an SP1C, you just ram it because it's fun. However, what is the tank like? Is it a bad experience, or is it a not so bad experience playing the tank? Now, over time, of course, those of you that have been around since the SP1C got introduced to the game, you would know that the SP1C used to be an OP tank. When it was in the game, when it was first released, it was an OP tank, especially if you was playing it in a platoon. However, Wargaming nerfed it years ago, and since then, they haven't really given this tank any love. However, it still can be an enjoyable tank to play. The gun isn't the best. I mean, it's a tier 7 tank with a tier 7 gun. You can play it with the auto loader if you wanted to. However, there are three guns to choose from. Each one, I mean, there's not too much difference. I mean, this gun here, it has the same penetration. The reload time is the same. However, it's got the slightly worse DPM. Like, the aim time is a bit worse as well. This one, you don't really want to be using this gun. Again, the penetration is nothing really too bad. However, I still use the auto-loading gun. Some people will use this gun. It's not an auto-loading gun, but some people will prefer this gun over the auto-loader. But I prefer the auto-loader, and that's just my preference. So the damage per minute is 2,100. Nothing special, but it's not that bad. The aim time 3.2, the dispersion 0.335, so nothing great there with the aim time and the dispersion. The magazine reload is 10.2 seconds. Again, not too bad, I don't think, for an auto-loading tank for that magazine reload. The shell reload time is 2.5 seconds in between each shell, and it does have 2 shells in the magazine. Now, the penetration isn't great in this tank. It's 168 on your AP and 220 on your APCR. That is with me running the calibrated shells rather than the vents in the tank. The HE is 50 millimeters. You're doing 225 alpha per shot on your AP, 190 on your heat, and 270 on your HE. So if you can get the HE out, then do so. There's not many tanks you're going to be able to pen, but if you do come up against another SP1C, then please just load up the HE. You will pump up that alpha, the DPM, sorry. So it has 10 degrees of gun depression. Gun depression is nice, but you're still not going to bounce anything in this tank. So the SP1C Experience. Now, even just trying to get some footage from this SP1C, I did suffer, but I also had some enjoyable games. Nothing really special, but they were some enjoyable. And when I'm driving this tank, like, a lot of people will rage when you play this tank. I just have to laugh, you know. If I get walloped, if I get destroyed by anything with a big gun, I just have to laugh because it's my own fault. You know, this game here, of course, there is a smasher on the enemy team. Now, of course, I'm going to find out what kind of damage a smasher can do to an SP1C. And the SP1C has always been, even when it was a brilliant tank, it's always been one of those tanks where if you see it, you want a piece of it. You know, you want to, you know, if you've seen The Matrix, the girl with the red dress, the SP1C is the girl in the red dress. If you see it, you want a piece of it. And just like that smasher's done there, I got absolutely destroyed. My own fault. It's not the tank's fault, it's my own fault, and I paid the ultimate price. I don't even last 30 seconds. I last longer than that with my wife. You know, that wasn't a long time at all. And I don't last very long with my wife, you know, but it is what it is. 30 seconds and we're literally dead. So that can happen. That can happen, and it will happen. Given the opportunity, people will shoot you and people will destroy you. So just try your hardest. If you are going to play this tank, if you are going to grind the line, try your hardest not to give the enemy the opportunity to get that HE out, because you don't have spawn liner or anything like that. So anyone that is looking at you will be able to shoot HE at you, and they will deal a lot of damage. You've got 1060 hit points. A smasher can just clear you with one shot. They can just clear you. It is more enjoyable if you do sit sort of back a little bit. Of course, if you're not sitting, if you're at the front, you're going to get wrecked. And if there's 3 tanks all in a row, they're going to aim at you. So try to sit behind your team a little bit, because again, you've got no armor. Anything that is going to come your way will be able to penetrate you. And you've always got to remember that. Sit behind your team. Don't sit at the front. You know, you're a light tank. You're a light tank, and you've got to play this tank like a light tank. Don't just rush in. You don't have the DPM to deal with the other mediums in tier 10. It's in tier 10, in tier 7. So just sort of use it as a light tank. Let your team go first, and just like I'm doing here, my team at the front there, I'm just going to come in from the side. Now this shot here, stupidly, I think that just disappears. We're going to go for the second shot, and we are going to sort of help in clearing that guy. And again, we're not just going to run away. We're going to go at the side and wait for our team to shoot, and then we're going to go in. Now I am going to go for this Churi. Probably not the best of ideas, but I wanted to get that shot off, and luckily the stayer behind isn't focusing me, and we're now going to be able to clear him or get some nice shots into him as he is running away. So we're going to get, yeah, ignore that shot. Again, no idea what happened with that shot, but we are going to go in for the little ram just to clear that guy. So it's not a tank that will do a lot of damage. It's not a tank that will do thousands and thousands of damage, but it still can be a fun tank to play. And it is a fun tank to play. If you play 2 of these in a platoon, of course it will be a lot more fun in playing this tank. But it is a tank that can still perform. It's still fun to play, and you can do some damage in this tank. So just one tank left, which is the ARL. Are we going to be able to do any damage? I mean, again, 1600 damage. We've done nothing special really, and no, we're not going to be able to get the final kill on that guy. So we're just going to show you one more game in this tank, and we're going to watch this Yamato Harbor. So with the penetration, of course, you're not able to, I wouldn't recommend just sitting at the front. I mean, we're going to see it here. We're going to go the right side, and because you are a light tank with not that much pen, if you're up against tier 8s, you need to find yourself in a position where you can actually penetrate people. And that's what I like about light tanks in these lower tiers, you know, tier 6, 7 and 8. I like to play these tanks like a light tank, like a proper light tank. Do some spotting and then get the hell out of there and try to relocate yourself. Unlike this SP1C here, he's just, yes, I did get shot, but now we're going to find ourselves in a position we're not going to be able to penetrate that predator there. We're not going to be able to penetrate that super Persian. So what we're going to do, there's not much we can do right now. Of course, there is the SP1C here. I know that there is the SU-130 PM behind, and luckily this SP1C misses both of his shots, so we are able to take him out for our first kill. So what we're going to do, we can't do anything anything to that Super Persian. Let's leave him there. Let's leave him there because he's not going to be able to do anything whilst he is sat there. So we're just going to try to get some side shots because that's where we are best placed. You know, trying to get the side shots. If we can't get the shots, we're going to relocate into a different position. So of course the stayer there has 3 shells. I don't want to take all 3 shells from that guy, so I'm just going to back up a little bit and hopefully reset my camo and come in, and luckily for him, he moves out the way just in time. But it's not going to end well for us. It isn't going to end well for us. And as I've said, trying to get this footage, I got wrecked so many times. So many times I did sort of 500 damage, 400 damage, and that is the thing when you play the SP1C. You are going to get wrecked and you have to bear that in mind. So just 3 tanks left alive. I think I'm not spotted right now, but before you know it, I'm going forward dead. Absolutely just wrecked. And yeah, that is what's going to happen often. On a regular occasion, that is what's going to happen to you when you are driving the SP1C. So let me know your thoughts on the SP1C. Is it a tank that you love, or is it a tank that you just want to stay the hell out of, because it's just a useless tank in your opinion? But yes, you can have some good games, but most of the time you're going to get wrecked, literally obliterated. So let me know your thoughts on the SP1C. Hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69 and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.